Feels like it's been forever since we've gotten a new mainline Mario game, and in a lot of ways it has been. After all, Super Mario Odyssey released in 2017 with the latest 2D Mario entry of Super Mario Run for mobile systems in late 2016, or even the story mode for Super Mario Maker 2 in 2019. Now, with the Nintendo Switch nearing the end of its life cycle, we get a completely brand new mainline Mario game in the form of 2D Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Already an aberration itself, since Nintendo usually releases mainline Mario games near the beginning of a said life cycle. Just how can this newest Mario game be any good? Spoiler alert, this isn't just a clever title, the game is absolutely wonderful. As I've mentioned in previous videos featuring Mario games, if you're looking to play a game in this series for its story, you're in the wrong place. To that end, the overall story structure hasn't changed much in the 38 plus years since the first Super Mario Bros. Has premiered on the NES. Bowser has unleashed havoc across the world, and Mario must traverse several worlds and levels going after him, trying to restore peace in the kingdom. The how Bowser has done this and where has changed, of course. Bowser has grabbed the Wonder Flower, transforming himself and Prince Florian of the Flower Kingdom's castle into one large mobile said castle. Mario and his friends must make haste with Prince Florian himself to procure all of the Wonder and Royal Seeds, while also ensuring Bowser's defeat to restore the Prince's castle and, of course, stop Bowser. Beyond the paint-by-numbers story we can usually suspect from mainline Mario games, we get a surprisingly immersive gameplay loop in the many worlds that Mario and friends traverse. This is where the first comparison I'll make to the new Super Mario Bros. Series comes into play, where single-player gameplay requires the use exclusively of Mario, with up to 4 players controlling Luigi and 2 Toads. Mario Wonder expands on this greatly. Wonder allows the player to control one of 12, holy crap, 12, characters. The same Mario, Luigi, and 2 Toads from the new series, but also Princesses Peach and Daisy, Toadette, and easy mode characters of 4 different colored Yoshis and Nabbit. They're called easy mode characters because they can't lose a life from getting hit by enemies, though they also can't use power-ups like the Fire Flower. Yoshis have the ability to flutter jump, like in their own series of games, and Nabbit doesn't get any knockback when hit by enemies. The Mario Brothers, Princesses, and Toads all control the same and don't have any special abilities unique to them. Some of these that they're known for, like Luigi's higher flutter jump, are available via equipable badges. These badges are earned through challenge levels or sometimes even just completing certain normal levels, as well as purchasable from shops around the Flower Kingdom. The standard controls of run, jump, spin jump, ground pound, and mid-air spin to lower fall speed are in play, just like from the new Super Mario Bros. Series. The aforementioned badges add an additional sort of spice to the overall gameplay loop. Action badges like the Flutter Jump or Underwater Dolphin Kick add additional mobility. Boost badges like Safety Bounce or Sensor are more subtle aids to the player, and expert badges like Invisibility, a larger gain but also have a certain cost. These are nice because while the game isn't the most difficult video game by a long shot, or certainly even the hardest Mario game, for beginners to the series, especially those gained from the recently released Super Mario Bros. Movie, they can be a big help. The new power-ups in the game are really great, although I'm surprised we didn't have any that can help Mario fly. To that end, this is the first Mario game since the original NES first entry that doesn't have one. Regardless, the standout power-up would of course be the Elephant Fruit, which transforms Mario and friends into an elephant. The Drill Mushroom was okay, if maybe a bit dull, but I did quite like the Bubble Flower. Turning enemies to bubbles and shooting them for additional jump bumps was a lot of fun. The level design for all of the worlds is absolutely fantastic. The Mario Wonder dev team has taken some influence from other games in the series. This includes Yoshi's Island, from just having the Yoshis in it as controllable characters, to even the removal of the timer and points gained from defeating enemies. And also, even games like Donkey Kong Country Returns have influence, with levels where Mario and friends can traverse in the back and the foregrounds, as well as levels where only the outlines of the characters are available. And while there are many enemies from past Mario games like Goombas and Koopa Troopas, as well as power-ups like the Fire Flower and Starman, there's an even greater amount of new in this series. It's funny how Mario Wonder is the first 2D game to omit the new prefix, yet it has more that is new than anything that has ever been in the actual new Super Mario Bros. Series. Besides more new enemies than returning ones, as well as the 3 new power-ups, the biggest addition, of course, is the Wonder Flower that is in every main level. This addition makes every level feel like how levels were in Super Mario 3D World, as every level in that game had some unique concept to it. For Mario Wonder, when a Wonder Seed is found in a level, it changes to some sort of strange and fun concept not seen before. A normal level will turn into like a musical with singing piranha plants, or it'll literally change dimensions and Mario traverses top-down a la classic 2D Zelda. One of my favorites was when the Bone Dragons became Yoshi-like Chinese serpent dragons, making me sad when I finally picked up the actual Wonder Seed to where they became mere bones again. One thing I'll mention about Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the overall length of the game. If you're playing a mainline Mario game for dozens or even hundreds of hours of gameplay, you're probably in the wrong place. And I say probably, as speedrunners will most likely get this amount of time with Mario Wonder. But if you're jumping into it new and are familiar with the overall 2D Mario gameplay loop, you're probably going to land around 10 to 15 hours of gameplay with maybe another 2 to 5 to 100% everything. This is roughly on par with the amount of time a new series Mario game takes. I'll also mention that the game isn't really difficult either. Even if you decide to forego the easy mode characters and even using the badges, the hardest levels shouldn't present too much difficulty. But of course, I say that as an old, or I guess I should say seasoned Mario player with over 35 years of experience. Admittedly though, the final test badge marathon level did claim a number of my poor Luigi's lives. I also played the entirety of the game in single player. I didn't really play with my partner at all, though we'll probably do a playthrough later together. The fact that Mario has removed collision in Mario Wonder, compared to it being in the new series, is awesome. Yeah, it was sometimes fun to pick up and throw friends off the stage, but that grows old very quickly when one or more friends are trying to work together to complete a stage but literally keep getting in everyone else's way. I also tried the Dark Souls-inspired online connectivity when playing by myself, so I could see others play online at the same time, but after 1 or 2 stages, I very quickly turned it off as it got really distracting and proved to be a hindrance more than anything. When talking about the graphics, if you're playing a Mario game for the pinnacle of realistic said graphics, then you are laughably in the wrong place. Though admittedly the best example I found of this was in Super Mario Odyssey's New Donk City, which still remains one of my favorite worlds in a Mario game to this day. But what we do get in Mario Wonder is a beautifully animated and colorful animation full of life and character. The animated part of Mario Wonder to me is the standout star here. As shown here from GameXplain, you can see the stark difference between the relatively static animation from the new series compared to what we get in Mario Wonder. I mean, come on, look at Mario reaching to grab his cat after he went into the pipe. Very cool and Indiana Jones-like. Also, look at the cool stuff that pops out when he gains power-ups. All of these are done just so very well for all 12 characters, and this kind of stuff is also present for a number of enemy sprites, up to and including the likes of Bowser Jr. and Bowser himself. The level of nuance for this is extremely impressive, and it's quite evident how much time the creators have put into the game. One aspect of the game that I've heard a few players online sort of have opinions about with Mario Wonder has to deal with the music and the sound. This is the first entry in over 20 years where Charles Martinet has not voiced Mario and Luigi. Instead, they are now voiced by Kevin Afghani, who has voiceover credits in games like Genshin Impact as well as Dragon Ball R&R. The voices for all of the characters are done well and pretty much sound like what it is to be expected for a family-friendly video game. The sound effects are great, albeit again standard mainline Mario fare. A nice touch within the game itself is that all 12 characters have their own variation of what their jump sounds like, as I liked to switch between Luigi, Daisy, and Mario. For some reason, Peach's jump noise just kind of grated on my nerves, so she never got into the rotation of characters I played as. Admittedly, I also got a bit annoyed with the baby talk-like noise that the characters sometimes have, like Daisy's sound whenever she shoots out bubbles with the Bubble Flower power-up. I've heard a lot of chatter online about how the music for Mario Wonder wasn't all really that much better from games like the new series. While I don't think it reaches the heights of what was heard in Super Mario Odyssey or even Super Mario 3D World, I do think the music is really fantastic, nearing Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3 levels. This is because the music itself plays a large part in the overall framing of the gameplay loop, and in some levels, a key component to help with timing to jump higher and even beat certain bosses. I loved how much character it added to stages, such as when piranha plants started popping out of pipes singing, or where a cadre of hidden ninjas pop out and start dancing. There are also a number of references to previous games in some levels. Not just on-the-nose references, like where the Delfino Plaza theme plays, but in places like the KO Arena. Here, Mario and friends must defeat waves of enemies. When they complete one wave, a variation of the new level theme from the original Mario Bros. Arcade plays. Heck, a remixed version of the Metal Mario theme from Super Mario 64 plays in a stage where a Wonder Flower grants this power. I mean, how cool is that? The new musical themes that play in levels are happy and cheery where they fit, also with dank ambient themes playing in darker areas like swamps and underground caves. Many of these have a trumpet variant that plays whenever Mario and friends have the elephant power-up on, reminiscent to the additional drums that play in Super Mario World whenever Mario is riding Yoshi. Overall, I am giving Super Mario Bros. Wonder a well-earned 10 out of 10. This is masterclass 2D Mario platforming at its best, with plenty of charm to spare thanks to the remarkably animated world, characters, and fantastic music. Not only does it put all of the new Super Mario Bros. Series games to shame, Super Mario Bros. Wonder nearly reaches the lofty heights of games like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. The only reason it doesn't quite hit those levels to me is due to my own nostalgia and memories of these older Mario games. With how accessible Mario Wonder is, it will allow kids to play it and have an absolute blast. And in this way, kids will grow up and look upon Mario Wonder as fondly as I do with Mario 3 and World. And I truly hope they do that, as Super Mario Bros. Wonder is absolutely worth such fond memories. But what did you think of Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Have you played this game yet? Are you thinking about giving it a try now that you've checked out my review? Make sure you let me know in the comments section below. Also, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, and also like or dislike the video. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.